Right, so hey everyone, and welcome back to another budget photography video. So, let's face it, lenses are not cheap. You can bring down the price by going second hand, but well, they're still going to be expensive. But what if I told you you could get a lens that has, it's lightweight, it's cheap, and it has an f1.8 aperture. So it's good in low light. Surely, all three things don't go together, but they do. Let me introduce you to the Canon Nifty 50, a 50mm 1.8 lens from Canon. Now, yes, this is the EF version. You can get an RF version. I picked this up a fair few years ago for about £100, and I love it. It's underappreciated in my camera bag because I don't use it enough. I don't. I really don't. And it kind of just sits in my gear cupboard, and then that's it. I use my 70-200, I use my 24-105s, I use my 300mm. I don't use the Nifty 50 enough. Until the other day, when I forced myself to go out with just my R6 and the Nifty 50, and well, I fell in love with it. I did. It has its limitations, and I'll get to them in a minute, but I fell in love with it. The images that I got from it were amazingly nice. They were sharp, they were decently colored, they were just nice images. They just were nice images. And it's small, it's light. Now, oops, now, yes. Downsides, it is plastic. It's not a metal lens. It's not a high class, quality lens. It does have a metal mount, but there is no rubber gasket to protect it from weather sealing. And it uses an STM focusing motor. So, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but there is a noise when it focuses. And it does kind of vibrate the camera when it does. Now, autofocusing on this thing is not too bad. It's really not. The autofocus is decent. It doesn't really miss. It can, but it is a little bit slow sometimes. And especially because you've got this protrusion that comes out of the lens. It's just not a very nice feeling lens. I mean, just look at that. Look, you have this little thing that you can just push down. Why does it? I mean, it's clearly built to a budget, obviously, because well, it's £100. But yeah, and the auto-focusing button on the side here. Well, yes, it's quite easy to reach when you're using it, but it's very stiff. I mean, you have to kind of dig your nails in to actually get it to work, because it is possible to use your thumb, but it is very, very hard. Now, personally, I do think it is just maybe this particular lens, but I'm not 100%. Now, again, this build quality is my biggest hatred of this lens. It's just so shoddy built. It just kind of, that'll do. Kind of like Land Rovers and Range Rovers. Everything's just, that'll do. And this lens is nice. It's great for beginners and it's great for professionals. A 50mm, it's really, really nice lens, but things just, there are little things about this lens that you have to sacrifice. Like, again, if you manual focus this lens, again, with the focusing, the ring that you use, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing special, but it kind of hurts a little bit if you push a little bit too hard, and it's all electronic. You can tell that Canon doesn't really want you to use manual focus with this lens because it's just a crap focusing ring, and they've not really given themselves much room because they've kind of pushed out on the autofocus and manual focus button and then slapped a massive Canon 50mm on, you know, sticker on the front that you can't remove. So I think if there is another one, then the focusing ring needs to be better, because it's just crap. There's no stoppage as well. It just goes round and round and round and round. It doesn't stop. It doesn't. You could just keep twiddling this thing. The camera is on, by the way, and the lens is in manual focus, but it just goes round and round and round, and it doesn't stop. Why does it not stop? Why don't I have a stop so I know, well, when to stop, really? Now, putting away the bad sides, let's get into some more of the good sides. As I said, image quality is really, really good. I haven't personally noticed any chromatic aberration or fringing, so yeah, pretty good for a £100 lens. And I like the simplicity of it. It's not got any more switches other than the autofocus and the manual focus ring. So it's a very, very simple lens. And when you just leave it in autofocus, you can just, you know, kind of just let the camera do its job with autofocus, and it does decently well. It's a decent lens, and we need to start appreciating it more, because I know I don't, and I'm going to use my 50mm more. I'm going to use my 50mm because it is a highly underrated lens. No matter how many times people have said it, it is just highly underrated. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me in this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.